So right now I'm standing in Canoga Park, California, because today, Sunday, April 23rd, is the anniversary of the very first show that I ever played, where I took my first band, went to a venue, got up on a stage, and played music in front of a crowd. Now, I believe it was 1995. I'm a little uncertain on the year. It was like 94 or 95. However, it was a Sunday, just like it is this year, and that show took place right here inside of this building, which at the time was the Cobalt Cafe. Now, I had been trying to start a band for a while. I played with a lot of different people, and I finally found two guys that were willing to play this music with me. And we went through a lot of different name changes, but we eventually settled on the name, the Dairy Queens. Now, later, I ended up hating that name, and after a handful of shows, I changed it. But looking back, I think it's a pretty cool name. But I do remember that when we would call around to book shows, they would always ask, is it an all-girl band or is it a gay band? So on Sunday, April 23rd, the Dairy Queens made their premiere. Now, that particular night was called Quick Mud Presents Club Speed, and it was put on by Jason DaCosta. There were four bands. The opening band was called Ad Astra, and then my band, the Dairy Queens, and then a band called Yaku and Out of Line. Now, that band Yaku later changed their name to 11teen, and then eventually changed their name to Eve 6 and had a pretty big hit song.
I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
Now, the only thing that I remember from that night as far as the other bands go is Yaku did a punk version of La Bamba, and they sounded nothing like they did when they later became Eve 6. Now, my band was actually able to gather a pretty good group of friends, drag them down here to the Cobalt, and make them sit through 45 minutes of really bad music. And lucky for all of you, it was all captured on VHS tape. Now, I'm not gonna make you sit through all 45 minutes of it. I wouldn't do that to you, but I thought it might be fun to watch just a little bit of it, because this is the first of what would become a pretty big part of my life. So I thought it would be fun to check it out. Now, after the Cobalt, this building became a kitchen and bath place, and I actually haven't been inside there since the Cobalt went out of business. So right here in front of the club was like the smoking area. Right where that security gate is was a railing that separated it from the sidewalk, and by the door, that's where the door guy would sit at a table, and then in between bands, people could come outside, and they were supposed to stay right there in that little smoking area. But as the club got more popular and the crowds got bigger, they couldn't really control it, and people would just kind of spill out onto the street. They would come hang out here in front of the deli or in front of the pub. And where we really liked to hang out was right down here at Jerry's Pizza. You can kind of see it right there. Yeah, they had really good pizza. It's so weird how being in here feels so familiar, but yet nothing looks the same. And right over there, that was the counter where you could purchase a bag of chips or a soda. That's where you would find the espresso machine with the Pee Wee Herman doll sitting on top of it. But I think later on, they just completely stopped serving coffee. Right over there in the corner was the soundboard. And then just to the left of it, this is where the stage would have been. And I spent a lot of hours on this stage. Watched a lot of bands on this stage too. A lot of bands that ended up getting pretty big. Now, right down this hallway on the left, that's the bathroom, and a lot of nasty stuff happened in there. That was a really gross bathroom. And then just beyond that, that's the back door where the bands would load in and out. And then when I worked here, a lot of the time I worked that back door. So that was my area right there. And then that first door on the right, that leads to what was the backstage area. That's where the bands could hang out while they were waiting for their set. And then that also leads into the behind the counter area. But yeah, a lot of memories in this place. Now, eventually I'd like to come back here and do a video just on the Cobalt and all the shenanigans that went on here. But today we're focusing on that very first show. So let's go see what we can find. All right, here we go. Now, I did something like this recently where I watched one of my old home movies from when I was a kid, and I gave my commentary on it. And I mentioned multiple times in that video that it was really hard for me to watch that and kind of embarrassing. Now, I think this video is going to be far more embarrassing than that one for me. Because in that other one that we watched, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I mean, everybody's kind of weird at that age. I'm a lot older in this one, and the band was just terrible. I know, for anyone that's ever been in a band, for at least most people, our first bands usually aren't very good. So, I don't know, whatever. Let's watch it. I remember I thought it was so cool that the camcorder we were using was able to put the text on the screen. Yeah, that's me with the giant green, bluish green mohawk. Man, I remember I was terrified. The place was actually pretty full, and once I got up there and saw everybody, I was really scared. Ooh, bass is way too loud. He stopped to turn his bass down. Not a good start to the set. Everybody was a little off there. Now, I was a horrible singer. You'll see right now. I was such a bad singer that my own mother pleaded with me to not be the singer in the band. She was like, you know what? You're not a good singer. Just play guitar. You should not. And I said to my mom, but the singer is the one that always gets the girls. In other words, I didn't care how bad of a singer I was. I knew that the singer was, when the girls came to see the band, it was the singer that they had a crush on. So I was like, no, I have to be the singer. Now, I did get better. Not a lot. I didn't get great, but I did get better than this. That's the bass player. His name was Jason, and he's a bit younger than me. I think I was maybe 14 and he was maybe 12. Now, if you notice, I never made eye contact with the audience until they started cheering. What? Then once I heard the crowd cheer, I gave a smile and a wave, and then I went right back into my shell. And I don't think I ever made eye contact with them again. It's, like I said, terrifying. Now this song, this is the first song that I ever wrote. Not a great song, but I still think it's pretty cool that it's the first song I ever wrote. The bass player's mom is the one filming us. That's why she keeps focusing on him. Well, not focusing on him. Pointing the camera at him, not focused. Now, for anybody who is a guitar player, if you're curious, I'm playing a Fender Squier Strat with a, I painted the pickguard hot pink, and I still have that guitar. It was the very first real guitar that my parents bought for me. So I kept it all these years. I recently redid it, put new pickups and stuff in it, made it sound and play a lot better. And I'm not using a pick. I refused to play with a pick back then, so I'm just using my bare hand, which made my guitar sound really mushy. And I'm playing through a, either a Crate or a Carvin combo amp with just 112. Surprised it was even loud enough. You can see it right there. Oh my gosh, I remember this. This is a really bad cover of the song Wild Thing. And already Wild Thing is not a very good song, and we made it a lot worse. I wrote my own lyrics to it, and they were based on the movie Major League. If you remember in the movie Major League, they used the song Wild Thing, and so I wrote my own lyrics that were loosely based around that. Oh my gosh, terrible. We brought our own revolving police light because we thought it would make us look cool. Now I can't tell if the bass player is bored or terrified. He's probably scared. Like I said, it was pretty packed in there, and it was kind of scary for our first show. Now, the reason why we're playing songs like Wild Thing is we had never played a show before. When we booked the show, they told us you have a 45-minute set. And we thought that meant we had to play 45 minutes or else we would get in trouble. You can see some of the crowd there. That's my dad. And my dad never was okay with being on camera. I'll tell you really quick and then I'll go back to that. I remember through this entire show, my dad stood right there on the side of the stage watching. And when we were done, after, we said thanks and everything, my dad walked up to the stage. He grabbed me by my shoulders really tight and he looked me in the eye and said, "I am so proud of you. Keep going with this. That was amazing. I'm so proud of you." And I can still remember the look on his face. That stuck with me and always will. So anyways, like I was saying, they told us we had a 45-minute set. We thought if we didn't play 45 minutes, we would get in trouble. So we probably only had like a 20-minute set. But for the weeks leading up to this show, we were learning covers, we were writing new songs that weren't very good, and we were timing it. We're like, oh, okay, 35 minutes. We need 10 more minutes. Little did we know that I asked if anyone wants a free demo tape, and everyone's yelling for it. I hear a bunch of people saying, "Come on, Kurt." I have no idea who that is. Why would anybody be yelling for that? I guess people just like free stuff. And if you thought that the live show was bad, the demo was way worse. Oh. What a tinny sound on the clean sound. Oh, we brought our own strobe light too, I remember. Oh, my first pair of Doc Martens. Actually, those aren't even Docs. Those are just some other kind of combat boot. They were falling apart. I had to hold them together with duct tape. Now, I wish we would have played all our songs at this speed. At least, they still wouldn't be good songs, but at least they would be at a more fun tempo. Oh. This is, again, a really bad cover of Molly's Lips by Nirvana. It's actually the Vaselines. It's Nirvana covering the Vaselines. And we're doing it the Nirvana way. I always thought Nirvana did it better than the Vaselines. Here's what I don't get. This song is 2 chords. It's really hard to make this song sound bad, but somehow we still managed to make it not sound good. Anyways, that Rancid shirt. I got that Rancid shirt at a Rancid show at the Palace in Hollywood for $7. Later in life, I saw that same Rancid shirt at Hot Topic for like $25. Blew my mind. Drummer's name was Evan. Really nice guy. He did not fit our style at all. His drumming style did not fit with us. He didn't like it, and he quit right after this show. Like the next day, he quit, and we knew it was coming. We played our second show 1 month later at the same venue in May. We played our second show with a brand new drummer and an entirely new set. I don't think we played any of the same songs. Somehow in a month, we rehearsed with a new drummer and wrote a whole nother set of songs. And our sound completely changed. We got a drummer that was really fast. He was a punk drummer, and it changed our sound significantly. Oops. Late start there. So I will say, I did get a lot better. Now, you know, I never was a great musician or singer, but I promise I did get better than this. Ooh, it's a really bad drum beat. Huh. What's going on here? Oh, that's it. Listen to everyone applauding like that. How phony. That's what happens when you get all your friends to come down. That's yeah, that's what happens when you get all your friends to come down and see you play, and no matter how bad or good you are, they make you think you're good. That's why later, when I got older, I wouldn't even tell my friends that I was in a band. And if I had a new band, I wouldn't even tell them. I wouldn't tell them if I had a show, because I didn't want my friends coming down to see me, you know, just because they're my friend. Like, if you don't like the music, if it's not your thing, then that's cool. Like, you don't need to come support me. That's just the way I am. I'd rather play to 4 people who actually are into that music than play to a room full of my friends who aren't into it. But that's just me. So yeah, so that's it. I just shared this because I noticed that it was the anniversary of this show, and I thought, you know what, it'd be kind of fun. Let me go back and take a look at this and share this little moment in my life with all of you. I thought some of you might get a kick in seeing me with the big green mohawk and the Rancid shirt with the suspenders and the army pants and the combat boots. But yeah, I had the whole costume going on, and it actually only got worse as time went on. Anyways, all right, that is gonna do it. Thank you so much for joining me on this this quick trip down memory lane. I hope that was somewhat entertaining to all of you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.